One of the best Nintendo pastimes is predicting and hoping for new Super Smash Bros. Characters, and with the purported Nintendo Switch version of Super Smash Bros. Wii U coming sometime soon, we here at Switch Force wanted to give you the lowdown on what we think could be coming as additions to that complete iteration. I'm your host, Zach, and I've got Jake and Gabe here. Guys, isn't it true that pre-Smash Brothers, thinking and hoping for your favorites is one of the best things in the world?
I can't think of a single thing that's better.
There are so many fake, phony rosters on the internet. I searched for this before we got on here, and there's like ones that literally have like 200 characters in their roster.
Wait, can you do a roundup of some of these like crazy characters? Not the ones we picked, obviously, but
there's
give us a sample.
There's like things like Navi as a character by herself.
How are you going to be Navi?
I don't know. There's
a little fairy well, not a fairy,
weird random characters like Black Shadow from like I think F-Zero. There's like Kirby bosses. There's all sorts of just like every little creature in the Nintendo universe.
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool, and we can tether ourselves to reality using Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a template. They added battle modes, some new characters, some new vehicles, no new tracks. So most likely there's not going to be like a whole new roster for this version, and potentially they save all of this for a future Smash Bros. Sequel. But if you go by what Emily Rogers, Laura Kate Dale, other Switch leaker predictor people say, this is still coming and still in the works, probably with an E3 reveal, a game that will fill one of their months leading up to Mario Odyssey. So I thought it'd be fun if we took 3 characters in 2 stages that we think, based on the Switch games, and we hope based on our favorites, could appear in Super Smash Bros. Deluxe, or whatever it ends up being called, when it comes on Switch. So Gabe, why don't you kick us off with one of your characters?
Okay. As everybody now knows, I am very partial to Zelda everything. It's my favorite Nintendo franchise, so it's only natural that I start off with something Zelda-related for the first character, and it's going to be Wolf Link. I don't know how it would work because, I don't know, he's it's a dog, so just size-wise, it's kind of weird, although there are bigger characters in Smash. We have Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But yeah, I think playing as Wolf Link would be totally different, which is something that Smash kind of does well. A lot of their characters are very, very different. It isn't a Ryu and Ken situation here. So yeah, I think Wolf Link would be very, very cool. You can teleport.
Do you want just Wolf Link? Just
Midna would have to be there to teleport
that makes
around.
it a whole lot easier, because then it's like Duck Hunt where there's a duck and a dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like Wolf Link and Midna. At first, I thought that I would want them separate, because Midna can do some stuff too. But but being able to phase around the level or whatever would be cool.
I mean, you can clearly imagine her grab Midna's giant hand just coming out and just chucking someone off the stage.
Yeah, and honestly, this one doesn't even seem all that far fetched to me, really. There's a Wolf Link amiibo, so. Mm-hmm. And I think Wolf Link is generally liked for the most part.
I think Midna's really well received too.
Yeah,
so
I think Revisionist history.
Midna.
Yeah, Revisionist history for Twilight Princess is actually quite good. So, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, and if you guys have any that you think of while you're watching this video, definitely let us know in the comments below. My first is the one I wanted for the Wii U version, which is King K. Rool. And I think there was a decent amount of push and oomph to get him in the game. He is, I think, one of the crazier Nintendo villains.
You just his beady, bloodshot eye.
No, that actually kind of freaks me out. I like his crown. I like that he has different outfits. I mean, I think, with different colorways that they have, I think he would do wondrous with his pirate outfit, his king outfit. I think it would be good. Plus, I feel like the Donkey Kong franchise needs one more representative in the game. You've got Diddy, you've got Donkey. Some people have hoped for Dixie, and even though I love Dixie as her own individual character with unique moves or whatnot, I still think King K. Rool would be awesome, and give us another big boss type character to sort of go along with Bowser and DK and sort of fit in that realm. Plus, I think he'd look really cool in the game, and since he hasn't been seen in so long, I'd love to see an updated visual version of the king himself.
I think that could work because a lot of people love DDD, which on paper sounds so stupid, like a giant fat penguin. But I mean, right. King K. Rool kind of models and I would imagine moves very similar to him and have minion attacks and stuff like that. So yeah, I could totally see that.
Jake, what's your first?
All right, my first one is probably what I think is, if you look at the Switch lineup of games, what is the most obvious, and I think that they will definitely have an ARMS character. Now, whether they go with Springman or Ribbon Girl, I'm leaning towards more towards Ribbon Girl, because Springman is like very much so like Little Mac, and I think Ribbon Girl is more unique stylistically and just the colors and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely think it's a very easy port into the game. Maybe even replace Little Mac, because people like so many people think he's cheap and annoying. But yeah, it definitely could have some cool maneuvers and unique kind of extended brawler type gameplay, which I think is really cool.
Very, very nice. Gabriel, give us number 2.
To piggyback off of Jake's concept of like taking one of the new Nintendo franchises and putting them in Smash, I want to take Snip and Clip. I mean, that's not even their names, probably. We just named them that once. And I don't know how you put them in Smash. I don't know what their moveset would be. They don't seem to be very violent.
Dude, they would replace the Lost Ice Climbers as the new epic duo.
Well, sure, that makes sense, but I don't know what like fighting moves they're gonna have.
They like cut each other into like shapes, like into really sharp, pointy things, or like drop pencils on you, or things like that.
Oh, there you go. You have a much more creative mind than me, but I just think that they're like so cool, and aesthetically, I think they would fit in just fine.
Maybe they're just called Pink and Blue.
Maybe, but I like Snip and Clip better.
Okay.
Yeah, but
plus you could do like weird things where like you like cut the other characters in half or things like that. Like that would be like the sort of like the Smash move, like the ultimate attack is to like slice them into weird shapes, which would be visually just delicious.
All right, Zach, what is your second?
My second one is going to pull from Breath of the Wild, but rather than go with a mainline character, let's instead go with that big, lovable Goron that we've seen in the story trailers. His Japanese name is Darukeru, or Darkle, I think, is sort of the other name. And they have some information on him from a translated piece of info, I guess. They say that he's normally calm, but when entering battles, he changed into a very brave warrior that screams loudly. So I just think this is an amazing character to have. Again, I'm going with the big guys. Normally, I like live small characters.
Goron's like huge normally. Like, how would he fit?
But they could size him. They size appropriately. So Bowser is not as big as he would be in comparison to Mario in like Mario 64 or Sunshine or Galaxy or even Odyssey. But I think he looks very cool, and I love the idea that instead of just taking like Mario from Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, Link from Breath of the Wild, like finding a side character that has more of a unique moveset, I think would be really cool. So I'm all about that guy. I mean, you could replace it with any of the other. There's the new Zora, the new Rito from Breath of the Wild, and either of those could work. I'd be just as happy. I just thought the Goron was cool, and the fact that he screams loudly. Yes. Right. Give me that guy.
All right. My second, I almost said third. My second is a tandem reveal with the reveal of a new Luigi's Mansion game. They're gonna have Egad in the game, and he's gonna be like in like a mech suit kind of thing. Because that's on his own he's kind of useless, but he's gonna have like a robot suit that has like vacuums and different things like that, and maybe like can like shoot out like summon a ghost or something like that. But I think he's crazy and kooky enough to be a highlight of the game. And I think they have Baby Bowser, which is kind of like a mech suit sort of thing in his clown balloon. So I think another one of those characters would be really fun to play as. So Professor Egad is going to be your next challenger.
I like that a lot.
That brings me to my third, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and the Inklings have been put into Mario Kart already, so I see no reason why one of them or both or whatever shouldn't come to Smash. So I think the Inklings would be quite cool. And you can, already just think of the moves that they have the guns. They can like go into like the floor and all types of other cool stuff. They can use that little ink jetpack thing that we see in the game now. So yeah,
you can sort of match away like, okay, what's going to be their extended jump? What's going to be their I think.
And the colorways are all there already, so yes. Beautiful.
Another one that I think is like very likely. I think that Snipper Clips isn't likely at all, but I do think that the Inklings and like Wolf Link are likely at some point in the future.
Me too. I agree. All right, Zachary.
All right. My final one is an Advance Wars commanding officer. Don't think Advance Wars gets enough love. There is an Advance Wars assist trophy in the in Smash already, but I'd love to see a full-on CO get some treatment. So it would probably be, I'm guessing, Andy/Rachel, like sort of the main guy from Advance Wars, and then his what I think is the closest girl counterpart later in the franchise, or Storm, who is sort of the cool like eagle gray hair guy again from the initial game. But I think it'd be super cool because they could be a unique character that maybe has a few attacks themselves, like Andy could hit with a wrench or whatnot. But for the most part, like they would just, like almost Olimar style, like call forth tanks and soldiers and things of that nature. And I think that would be super, just a really cool aesthetic.
I think it'd be like a combination between like Pokemon Trainer and like DDD's minion summoning or something.
Yeah.
Or
But
like
we don't want not Battalion
the
Wars, OG Advance Wars, please.
Okay. So do you want like little like arcade style little tanks, or do you want like big modern tanks to like?
No. I want like Game Boy Advance graphic pixel tanks. Yes.
Sounds perfect. Now,
all right,
for my third one. Sorry.
Finish us off.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's so.
Finish him.
All right. So for my third one, I think that there is a high probability that there is a Mario Odyssey character, whether it be a version of Mario or someone we haven't seen. And since we haven't seen anybody new except for the bunnies, I don't think they're going to put a bunny in the game. I'm going to go with the Zachary tactic and say that they're going to put Paper Mario in the game.
Yes.
Why is Paper Mario in all our videos now?
Zach loves Paper Mario, and I was thinking about it. And if they put Dr. Mario in a Smash Bros. Game, he's way more lame than Paper Mario. So I think Paper Mario would be super cool. You could call like minion friends, or just have his hammer and some unique abilities or things like that. And I think stylistically, yeah, he's totally different, but I think that would make him even cooler to put in the game. So I'm going to say Paper Mario.
We should make, Nintendo should make a Paper Smash Bros. Game where it's like Snipper Clips and like Paper Mario and just paper everything.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right, well that's a pretty darn solid list there. Let's move on to stages. Stages, I think, have so much personality in Smash Brothers, and in some ways are just as exciting as some of the characters. So we compiled 2 each for stages, and you guys can play along with this as well in the comments. But I have one that I want and one that I think is going to happen, even though I don't want it. The one I think is going to happen, and let's do both of them at once here.
Yeah.
The one I think is going to happen is a Mario Odyssey flying stage, where you're in the hat ship and you're cruising through the different environments in Mario Odyssey. Now, I don't really like the moving stages so much, but I feel like that is an inevitable one. In the same vein that they did a
Sunshine Course.
Yeah, and they just do a lot like that. So that's one that I think definitely will be there. Now one for a little bit more of an oddball choice, and if you've paid attention, I have a strange affinity for this eventual Wario Waluigi game. So I'm gonna say Wario and Waluigi's crib/apartment, and it's just like this really messy place full of onions and tennis rackets that are broken and motorcycles and arcade machines for WarioWare and purple outfits, but a very meta Smash Brothers stage that reveals the homes of 2 of our nation's greatest.
I can picture all that bling, a lot of diamonds. And,
yeah.
A lot of cool sunglasses, a lot of brass knuckles,
purple cars with
disco
giant
ball,
gold rims.
Exactly. Yeah. Get on this. We need this one. All right,
Gabriel.
Jake, give us your 2.
All right.
Okay. Gabe, go.
All right, so my 2, again, back to the Snipper Clips thing, and also ARMS, going completely with the new franchises. Once again, I like these new franchises. An ARMS level of some kind. Ideally, we wait till ARMS is out before we decide which level everybody gravitates towards and likes the most, and then we get that one in Smash somehow. Obviously not identical, but stylistically close.
I picture that as the Street Fighter courses where there's fights or interactions going on in the background. You can see Master Mummy fighting Ninjara in the background while
yes.
Or what if you're battling on the arms of Ribbon Girl and Springman?
That would be confusing.
And they're floats, it's like Poke floats, but arms floats.
Oh, okay.
I'll say then Sonic has an advantage because he just do his thing all over the place. Yeah, and just another level that's basically paper. It'll look like the training level or whatever, but Snipper and Clip in the background just cutting pieces of the level off and you falling and all. And I know people don't like the transformative stages as much, but
when they complete a challenge, then it changes. and
Yeah.
like falls.
It would be
Yes.
like it'd replace like the DS like chat or whatever that one weird one is.
the Picto Chat stage.
Yeah, I could definitely see Snippercliff's stage fitting in there. Okay, so for my two, I think that there's almost obviously going to be something Breath of the Wild related. I have no idea what though, because we haven't really seen like a specific dungeon or like the bridge from Twilight Princess. I mean, it could just be like the open areas or the forest, but
Yeah,
something
or
Breath of
just
the
the
Wild.
Great Plateau, just like a big green open area.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of boring though. I feel like they'd make it something interesting because like the bridge is like kind of boring. It's just a bridge, but they make it interesting with like the warriors coming through or the whatever bokoblins coming through and blowing it up. So something Breath of the Wild related. Don't know what yet. Maybe that's where Daru Keiru or whatever his name is will come in and be smashing things in the background. I don't know. But second one is Inkopolis from Splatoon. I think would be a super cool, fun stage with amazing music. And I think it'd be cool just to do it like kind of like in the hub world of Splatoon with like the shops in the background, different characters like moving around or whatnot. And I think it'd be easy to create and a very popular stage.
Definitely. I think, unfortunately, I feel like you guys are a lot more grounded, whereas I have a little bit more of eclectic requests. But again, it's super fun to hope for these things, and I am hopeful that it comes out because, like we've discussed, this is again like Mario Kart 8, the ideal game for local and for tabletop mode, and would really be just so much fun to have that with you and in your arsenal consistently and constantly to play on the Switch.
I have a question though, because we know that one has to come out. But really quick, would you rather have them come out with a port in like the next year, or wait a little bit longer and have a totally new Smash Brothers?
I would wait.
I would rather have the port because I think it's totally plausible to have the port in 2017 and then the actual game in 2019 or 2020. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I guess what I'm saying is if we don't get the port, I don't think we're getting one for a long time.
Really?
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
I mean,
I feel like they have to have one before like summer 2018. One or the other.
yeah, I just don't think there's time. I mean, I suppose another alternative option is that they release Virtual Console Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
No,
And then
one new.
They put out Melee, and then you don't do the Switch port and
No.
wait for a new one.
We need new characters.
I also do think the port's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
again, we don't know, rumor, but it makes sense.
Right. I mean, they've said that there's multiple Wii U ports. There's clearly an audience that will eat that up. And so if Mario Kart 8 is, the big first, I guess if you want to count Breath of the Wild, but Mario Kart 8 is the real big first, and then Smash Brothers would be the logical second. So, let us know in the comments what characters and stages you would hope to see added on. If you think there'll be any other interesting additions, I'm guessing sort of similar to Mario Kart 8, it will include the DLC. It will include the extra characters, Ryu, Bayonetta, etc., the extra stages, and be sort of the ultimate Game of the Year Smash Brothers package, and hopefully with some extra iterations to keep things interesting. My fear is that they add more Fire Emblem characters.
There's a lot of Fire Emblem games coming, so
I know. More Fire Emblem characters. I do wonder if they would get cute and like change the Mario that's in there to be the Mario Odyssey Mario or something of that sort. Or
Maybe
like
better.
maybe even then rather than add new characters if that's too complicated, what if they just modified Mario and Bowser or made a few additions? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. This is one that even though it's a port, I'm very excited for. So hopefully we hear more soon. Until that time, everyone, for myself, Jake, and Gabe, Switch Force out.